Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, today we have Mitch McMullen. He's the new head men's basketball coach, York University Panthers. Great conversation. You're really going to enjoy it. Stay tuned. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAIA basketball. One podcast at a time. As I said, today we have Mitch McMullen. He went to a couple of different schools. He'll talk about that. But his biggest influence in college was definitely Delton Deal. He played for him, had a good career there. He and Coach Deal have a strong relationship. He worked with Coach Deal for a few years as well. So he'll bring a lot of that Nelson philosophy, I'm sure, to York. He's determined to turn that program around. And he comes with, I'll tell you this, a lot of energy. And I think you're really going to enjoy getting to meet Mitch McMullen, the new head coach, York Panthers. Let's take a listen. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Mitch McMullen on the phone, new head men's basketball coach, York University. They are the Panthers. Coach, welcome to Cascade Hoops Talk. First time you've been on the show. Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it. Glad to spend a few minutes and get to talk with you.
Well, I'm hoping today you can give the fans a little bit of background. It's a little early yet as we record this. I think you've had, 2 days of practice No, you don't even start practice until Monday.
Practice is Monday, yes, sir.
So I record these ahead of time, so I get behind. The days start to run together.
No worries. I understand. It's a busy time of year for everyone.
But anyway, we'll talk about your roster more generally. But I want you to introduce yourself to fans. So you played. You and I were just talking. You had an interesting playing background. Tell folks where you played as a collegiate.
Yes, sir. So I spent my first 2 years at Long Island University in Brooklyn, had a really neat opportunity out there. And then I got to spend my next year playing for Coach Rocky Lamar at Mid-American Nazarene, one of his last recruiting classes, 2017. Yeah. And then I got to spend it with Coach Delton Deal at SAGU, now called Nelson University. And, it's been really cool being around a lot of different coaches with a lot of different ideologies and just seeing the way they run a program and just help me build and get the ideas for when I'm stepping into making my program. And so it's been an exciting journey, and I'm just excited to get rolling.
So you've had a couple different coaching stops. Well, first, let's stick with your collegiate playing days. Now, you had a relationship with Coach Deal your entire college career, because weren't you originally recruited there?
Yeah, so that was actually one of the craziest things is my first college offer was to York in 2015 when Coach Deal was working here. And the neat thing about that is, though I decided in the long run I didn't come here, we kept that relationship going. Like, we called, FaceTime like 3 times a week, and we were like really close. And that relationship has obviously had a lasting impact on my life. And, it's something that I aspire to be for other student athletes now. And so it's really cool. It's been a really big blessing just to have him a part of my life and be a part of that Nelson family and get to experience winning traditions.
You've had you obviously played at a strong program under Coach Deal. Also, MNU,
yes, sir.
MNU historically has a strong program.
Yes, sir.
And then you've, in your coaching stops, I think you were at a JC, you were over at Temple College. Both had great seasons while you were there. And then you went back and you coached with Coach Deal for a while. You've been around a lot of winning programs. What do
yes,
you believe
sir.
are some of the key lessons you've learned as you've worked with some great coaches?
Yeah, I think the biggest is, being honest up front with recruits, with players, with assistants, with coaches, with administration, and just tell them what your goals are, who you're about, what you're going to do. And so when it comes to helping other people make decisions, they know exactly what they're getting into, and it creates a clear picture for everyone. And so, like you said, I've been around a lot of really talented coaches. Something that's kind of cool, I didn't mention this yet either, but the first coach I actually worked for at Temple College, he was my high school coach. So he got the Temple job, and he called me like the day after he got the job and offered me the position. It was during COVID, And so that was a really strange time to get into coaching, but we made it work. He's a different style coach from Coach Deal. He's a little more laid back, but very family oriented, family first, same type of thing. And, it's just helped me mold into the type of guy I want to be. And again, like I'll just keep saying it, I am extremely blessed to be where I am. And so, yes, sir.
Coach, where did you grow up and play high school ball?
Yes, sir. So I played at Samuel Clemens High School in Schertz, Texas.
Okay.
And so, yes, sir. We had some pretty good teams back then. So the coach I actually worked for at Temple was at Wagner with Jordan Clarkson and Andre Roberson. And then he came over to us, and we went to state in 6A my junior and senior year, 33-5. We had a really good team, just really good people. And that's something that's been like an emphasis in terms of me recruiting and just getting here is I've been surrounded my entire life with great people that I can talk to, hang out with, coaches that actually care about what's going on in your life. And so that's been the big goal here is to bring in people who want to be genuine in relationships, bring in an assistant who's big time. I love my assistant. He's doing a fabulous job. And so, that's just one of those things that we're excited about and want to continue doing.
How in the world did a guy from Texas end up at Long Island University?
That is it's kind of a crazy story, but the previous coach at Long Island, Jack Perry, he actually recruited some San Antonio guys before me. Okay. One of them being Jason Brickman, who was an all conference guy out there, and I'm nowhere close to as good as that dude was. He was phenomenal, but they had a connection. They were recruiting down in Dallas, and I was playing in one of those open events back in the day. Oh, okay. They reached out, so okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, you've been around a lot of winning programs. That's one of the most important things is knowing what a winning program looks like, right? When you're recruiting a young man, do you look for that in them as well? Somebody who knows how to win, what winning looks like?
100%. And that's winning looks multiple different ways in our opinion. Can you win off the court as well? Are you going to carry yourself the right way? Mm-hmm. Are you going to talk to women appropriately on campus? So that first phone call with the recruit for me is vital. If I can talk to them and I can tell them exactly who we are as a program, what we're looking to do, you can kind of tell right away if a kid is interested or not, if he's going to fit that mold or not.
Yeah.
And so we can weed through them pretty fast, to be honest with you. But that's a part of it. But winning on and off the court is very important to us, but the character thing is the most important thing. I think if you have high character, you can do some big things.
This is something I hear a lot. How often do you weed one out after you review their social media?
Oh, it's pretty quick. So this is kind of a long story, but my assistant, I got the job in April. My assistant didn't get here until about 3 weeks ago. Okay. And so I had about 5 months on campus just by myself. And the amount of time spent on Twitter in my office, just going through social media platforms like, oh, let's mark that guy off. Let's mark that guy off. Okay. It happens way more than you think. And so it's when you're trying to build a high character, high culture program, if there's a question mark, you're most likely not taking the dude.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And I know those warnings go out. Everybody who helps, these recruiting, everybody who helps young men in their recruiting process talks to them about it. And it still seems to ace a lot of them out of it, which is really unfortunate.
It is because there's so much talent out there.
Yeah, there is.
Yes, sir.
I've been asking pretty much everybody this in the preseason here. Which is tougher to get, the athlete that you need or the type of person that you need?
That's actually a great question. I would say the athlete. I think we can go get good people. Yeah. And so that means that we take more of a development approach here, but we sprinkle in our transfers and we try to build something up. But you can look back at every roster that I've been a part of if you want. You can even look at Coach Deal's roster. Those guys have been there for 3 to 4 years, and he sprinkles in a couple big-time transfers, and they get successful because of that and because of those guys that have been there for the long time and really understand what needs to be done and what needs to be accomplished. The big-time athletes, we're going to land a couple, and I believe in that, and I believe in our recruiting abilities to get that done. But you got to find and bring in freshmen who can be high character and help actually build something out.
Yeah, they kind of provide the pillars for the program, don't they?
Absolutely, yes, sir. And so, it's always a battle. Some years you're going to get more high character kids. Some years you're going to get some big time athletes, and going to have to work with them a little bit. And so it's a lot of fun. That's honestly the biggest part of college coaching for me, and the reason I accepted a head coaching job is because the transformative years of them being 18 to 22 and getting to really have an impact in that and getting to see the growth and maturity from them is just so rewarding. Like, this might sound funny, but I was so excited the first time I got a wedding invitation from one of my former players.
That is so
like,
cool.
That just meant so much to me. Like, man, like, we've seen this kid grow up from 18 to 22, now getting married, and it's a great feeling. And so,
yeah,
yes,
no,
sir.
you should have been honored. I think that's one of the greatest honors all coaches go through is when they go watch their players get married, because
Absolutely.
I've talked to other coaches about it. I'm around college athletes a lot. That change
Yes,
from
sir.
18 to 20, from freshman year to junior year, it's like, whoa, where did this guy come from? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and it usually happens over that summer. They
yeah,
leave,
exactly.
and they come in with a whole different mindset. You're like, whoa. And so that's why it's also important to go get some upperclassmen out of the transfer portal. You have to do it, but you got to get freshmen that are willing to learn from those guys that have been kind of through it.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun. It's fun putting together a team for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't even imagine. So, Coach, you're up there, the York Panthers. They haven't had a winning season there since about 8 years now. It's a
Yes,
tough
sir.
conference. You've
Very tough.
got a
Yes,
little
sir.
bit. You've got an uphill. You're familiar with York. You know who they are. You got an uphill
Yes, sir.
drive. What steps are you taking, and how are you going to turn this thing around, Coach?
Man, like I said earlier, it really starts with bringing in high character guys who want to learn and want to grow together and be collaborative. Um, as guys get older, you bring in freshmen that are like, man, I'm gonna score 15 a game, and
Yeah.
you get the upperclassmen that are like, man, I've lost the last couple years, like I just want to find a way to win some ball games. And so, getting guys who understand that they have to come in and earn and work hard and collaborate, because my goal for us is for each player to step on the court and go out there and be the best version of who they are. And so if we can do that, I feel like we have a chance to be very successful here. But it takes everyone buying in and doing things the right way. But the steps I'm taking for the most part are, like I said, recruiting high character people, making sure they're taking care of their business off the court. Because one thing I tell every recruit on the first phone call I have with them, who you are off the court will be a direct reflection of who you're going to be on the court. And so that's our big thing here. Get high character guys that approach life the right way. And start with that, and then basketball is going to take care of itself.
You've been at York for what, about 4 or 5 months now?
Yes, sir.
How are they treating you up there, and how are things going for you on the campus? It's got to be exciting to finally have the kids there.
Man, these last 3 weeks have been incredible. Just finally getting the team together. We had 4 varsity returners, and so this is a whole new program, whole new group of individuals, and it's an exciting time just to see people starting to work together, understanding what our team is going to look like, and it's been a lot of fun. We got a new athletic director in July, and he's been great, helping us out tremendously. Just first-year head coach stuff, you have a lot of questions, have a lot of stuff that you're going to actually have to sit down and figure out, and I've had a ton of help with it, and so I'm just extremely grateful.
So, Coach, you're building a new team for the people there in town. They haven't had a winning program for a number of years. Talk to the folks there around town, the students. Talk about the team you're going to build and why they need to come out and support the Panthers this season.
Absolutely. We're going to play with joy. We're going to go out there and be the best version of ourselves. We're going to play hard, and we're going to approach life the right way. Like I said, our guys are ready to take on life in York, Nebraska, and not just basketball in York, Nebraska. And so that's what we're excited about. We're getting out in the community. We're doing things. We're helping people out.
Good.
It's funny, over the last 2 weeks, I've gotten numerous phone calls from people in town saying, hey, I ran across one of your guys at Walmart. He helped me take my bags out to the car. Like, super nice people, and they're excited that we're here, and it's just been a blessing. And so I'm excited to put a product on the floor that represents York, Nebraska.
Oh, that's great. I like to hear that. Coach, the KCAC, traditionally a tough conference. I'm sure you've taken maybe a minute or two in the spring and look that lineup up and down. Talk about your impressions coming in of the KCAC.
Man, it's tough. You just go on Synergy and you can pull up a game, and it's unpredictable, to be honest with you. I'm excited for it. I've been in the Sooner the last couple of years. I played in the Sooner. I've seen what that looks like, and honestly, I think this conference is ridiculously talented, and I'm excited to become a part of it and learn from all these great coaches who are in here already. It's going to be this first year. We're super excited. Our expectations, like I said, are to go out and be the best version of ourselves, but we have to learn it. And we know that, and we're excited to do it. And we know this, we know what the KCAC is, and we know it's going to be a challenge every single night, and we're ready for it. I think we're ready for it in multiple different ways, but the main one is really learning and building an identity and a culture of who we're going to be. And so we're excited here.
You know, Coach, you kind of alluded a moment ago. I think you were talking about Chris O'Neill, your assistant.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want you to give you a minute and talk about him, because assistants are so important. And you were talk about why he's such a good assistant and what he brings to the program.
So this is Chris O'Neill is like a 2020 kid for me, meaning that he was one of my first recruits at Temple College. Played there his first year. That was COVID year. Second year, he lost his spot to another dude, and he stayed the course. Like, he is one of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. Transferred with me when I went to go coach at Fort Scott for the year, and then went off to got a D2 offer, Missouri St. Louis, and then finished at Texas Wesleyan. And so we actually had a coach against him last year when I was at Nelson, and we've had just a tremendous relationship. And, you know, it's one of those guys that really understands what we're trying to do here. He is a Christ-centered man. He does things the right way. He builds true relationships with people, and his recruiting schemes and styles are very similar to the way I am. And so we really hit that relationship aspect side and really have deep, meaningful conversations with recruits, which I think is what helps us land some of these guys here. And it's been extremely beneficial having him on campus the last 3 weeks. It's helped me out tremendously and just helped out the university. He's a light on campus, and we're extremely excited to have him here.
It's really important to have that assistant that you could trust, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so important. I wanted you to give him a shout out. Well, Coach,
yes,
are you excited? As we're recording this, you're gonna start practicing in just a few days. I mean, how big are the butterflies? Are you just chomping at the bit?
Man, I am so excited. It is, like I've mentioned it, it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to get to coach young men and be a part of their lives and impact it. But that first official practice, like, I talked to my wife about this. I was like, I am just so excited to get rolling. You can only watch so much open gym before you're just like, all right, like, we can't do this anymore. So you bring in a recruit, watch them hoop a little bit. I'm like, I can't do this. So it's been weight room and conditioning.
Yep.
And our guys are itching to get on the floor. So we're excited.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you giving us some time. Really excited to see what you can do there at York. It's a great conference. I love KCAC basketball, and wish you a lot of luck as you get rolling there.
Yes, sir. No, I really appreciate I appreciate you taking the time and giving me a platform to speak this morning. It means a lot to us in our program, and as we get rolling in the next couple of years, we start building this thing out. We're excited to compete. We're excited to change the dynamic of the last couple of years of York basketball. So I appreciate you.
Well, yeah, I've got your phone number now. I'll reach out to you as the season gets going. We'll get you back on. Talk about talk about how the Panthers are rolling. How's that sound?
Yes, sir. You know what? That sounds phenomenal. I would love that.
There we go. We'll do it then.
All right, man. It sounds good. It was great talking with you, sir.
That's Mitch McMullen. He's the head men's basketball coach, York University Panthers. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Hey, thanks a lot to Mitch McMullen and to York University. Really appreciate him taking the time. You can see, you hear that energy in his voice. They should be exciting. It is going to take him a year or two to get that thing rolling, but he's going to get there. Hey, if you haven't heard your favorite coach on here or somebody I've never had on, just mention it to them or mention it to the school. Have them reach out to me. Some of these coaches that you've never heard on Cascade Hoops Talk man, they're just really extremely hard to get a hold of. So if you know anybody that just hasn't been on, that you really want to get them on, just mention it to them. Have them get a hold of me. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of me on X or Twitter. Also, my Cascade Hoops Talk at Gmail gets to me as well. So if you could do me that favor, I'd really appreciate it. My goal is to get to every coach in the country this season. I tried the last couple of years. I tell you, it's really, really hard. I doubt if I can do it. But man, wouldn't that be cool to get every coach in not the conference, every coach in the country on the show this year. Anyway, think about that and reach out to your school or to your coach if they haven't been on. This is Billy D. We'll talk soon. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.